Humanitarian projects, you know I don't believe in that. You know I'm totally against that. It is insane for you to think that somebody's going to give you a higher rate than the CBI is going to give you. That's what these humanitarian projects are guaranteeing. That's why they say, give me your dinars, we'll hold on to them, and when it happens we're going to pay you back a lot more than the CBI. Yes, I've been very enthusiastic about the dinar. Everybody that's been in the last 2 years should easily see the evidence that shows Iraq is actually following through with what they're doing, and that's the digital transformation, and that has a component in it, and one is their future currency. I'm very excited about it. What we had 2 years ago doesn't even compare to what we have today. Question: I wonder what's the ETA for IQD appearing on Forex? Marks: I may get egg on my face, but I think we may see the IQD on Forex Saturday night into Sunday morning. The American dollar, Trump is wanting maybe it should go in a basket with the Iraqi dinar. He wants it in a basket, dinar and dollar, to bring the dinar to $1. He wants other currencies in that basket to help each other, and in doing so, by helping each other in that basket, these currencies will gain security and stability, value, and internationally recognized etc. Parliamentary Energy reveals U.S. pressure to pass budget amendment law, and this is the reason. Quote, the amendment of the budget aims to address the oil dispute between Baghdad and Erbil. We have been following this RV saga for a long time. We know the banking reforms are all completed, enough to meet the white paper reforms. After the 2023 invasion of Iraq, the country's currency, the Iraqi dinar, underwent a major transformation. Before the invasion, the dinar had suffered from instability due to years of sanctions and economic mismanagement under Saddam Hussein's regime. Iraqis used US dollars. Following the fall of Saddam's government, the Coalition Provisional Authority introduced a new version of the Iraqi dinar in 2003. The transition was smooth, with Iraqis exchanging their old dinars for the new ones at a 1-to-1 ratio. While the new dinar did stabilize initially, the country's instability, corruption and conflict have made it difficult for the currency to achieve long-term strength. Like post-war Germany, Iraq's currency reform was crucial, but Iraq's recovery has been slower due to persistent instability and economic dependence on oil. There is a significant difference between Germany's recovery, which took 5 years, after World War II, and Iraq's recovery, which we are still waiting on 20 years later. After World War II, Germany's currency faced a significant crisis. The war had devastated the country's economy, leading to hyperinflation and the collapse of the Reichsmark. In 1948, 3 years after the war, the country's overseeing post-war Germany introduced a new currency, the Deutsche Mark. This new currency helped eliminate the black market and incentivize people to engage in legitimate economic activities. The currency reform is often credited with laying the groundwork for Germany's economic recovery during the 1950s. This transformation turned West Germany into one of the leading economies in Europe, demonstrating the critical role currency reform played in its post-war rebuilding. Sammy says next Tuesday the appeal will be held by the judge on the 3 laws that have been passed, several appeals saying it was unconstitutional. So the budget table set in limbo until that is cleared. We do believe once it is cleared, then they can be given to Parliament for the vote that we are waiting for. Frank, Parliament is using every inch of the cliff they are standing on, and soon they will have no choice but to tell you citizens the truth. There are no more choices for them except to pass these laws. Trump's storm hits OPEC and ignites fears in Baghdad from remarks given by Trump at Davos, and drill baby drill in the US, caused a drop in oil prices below $75. This will lower the cost at the pumps for us, and lower the cost of groceries soon, but Iraq is still well in the range they need for the RV. We have been looking to be notified since Tuesday. However, the latest piece of intel, which was from the person in the Treasury, that person said, everything will be taking off for all of us on Saturday, the 25th, so that is the plan, as it is now. The information said that we'll be very excited about the rates. I think the rates are going to go higher, especially on dong, and we know that they are contract on dinar, which tied to the per barrel price of oil, which was in the low 80s. That's per dinar. By the way, the contract rate is only available at the redemption center. I think we're just really ready to go. We should be excited. Informed sources stated on Saturday that the Iraqi capital, Baghdad, will play the role of mediator to settle internal disputes between the federal government and the Kurdistan regional government, in addition to other regional disputes, in meetings scheduled to be held in the coming period. It is expected that the capital, Baghdad, will host important meetings of high-level leaders, Iraqi, Kurdish, Turkish, and Syrian, in the coming period to resolve the outstanding issues between these parties. The sources told Shafaq news agency, the next 2 weeks will witness important meetings in Baghdad for high-level leaders of some ministers concerned with the pending files between the Kurdistan region and the federal government on the one hand, and Turkey and Syria on the other hand, regarding the file of the Syrian Democratic Forces, SDF. The sources explained that Iraq will play the role of mediator in these dialogues, and thus resolve the thorny and pending issues between these parties. The commander of the Syrian Democratic Forces, Mazloum Abdi, recently visited the Kurdistan region of Iraq and held meetings with leaders and officials in Sulaymaniyah and Erbil, the most prominent of which was with the Kurdish leader, Masoud Barzani. The sources added, Baghdad will work to bring the viewpoints of Turkey and the SDF closer together, and it is hoped that the Foreign Minister Fuad Hussein and the head of the intelligence service Hamid el-Shatri will attend the meeting as representatives of the federal government, while one of the prominent leaders of the Democratic Party will attend, along with some regional ministers, regarding the internal file of Iraq and resolving the pending issues with Erbil. Regarding the regional file, Syrian Foreign Minister Asad al-Shaybani and his Turkish counterpart Hakan Fidan, as well as the commander of the SDF forces, Mazloum Abdi, will engage in rounds of direct understandings in Baghdad regarding a number of files, according to the sources. The same sources indicated that the issues that these people will be involved in are the financial fines imposed on Turkey for exporting oil from the Kurdistan region and Kirkuk through the port of Ceyhan, in addition to raising the level of trade exchange, and other security and economic files as well, including the issue of the SDF forces and their control over prisons that contain thousands of detainees from ISIS, and the file of targeting Turkish forces and the security of the Kurdistan region. According to the same sources, the Iraqi understandings with the SDF will focus on the security of the prisons controlled by these forces, the most important of which is the return of convicted ISIS members to their countries on condition that they complete their sentences in their countries, and bear responsibility for their families in Al-Hol camp, in addition to contributing to financing the rehabilitation of these families. In addition to